Self-aware leader. We're going to talk about something crazy today, guys. What do you mean crazy? Well, we're going to find something that you think is a huge problem in your life, and it's actually a valuable ally. It's something that we need to really pay attention to. And it's a signal that's worth heeding. And I know this may seem like a villain to many of you because I talk to a lot of self-aware leaders and they say, Jason, biggest problem I face is this. And I talk to them and I'm like, do you know that this is actually one of your biggest allies? And this, if you're self-aware, is a signal and a trigger for you to look deeply within and find out what's going on. And let me share with you what it is. You ready? Procrastination. You're like, yeah, I have that problem, Jason. All leaders have that problem. We all procrastinate. As a human, we do. And as a self-aware leader, we know that our habits and our behaviors, those things that are most important to us in our lives that we do or don't do, something that we want to stop doing, but it tends to, this behavior just creeps out. And we're like, why do I do this? Well, let me tell you something. Habits and behaviors often hold deeper meanings. And by turning our intention inward, we get to uncover hidden insights. We get to find the procrastination patterns. So how do you understand procrastination through self-awareness? Well, we know self-awareness for all of us is our superpower. That is the superpower for humans. It's the ability to recognize our own character, our own feelings, our own motives and desires. And when applied to procrastination, it invites us. The senses begin to cause us to examine our thoughts. And we begin to go deeply into our emotions. And through this superpower of self-awareness, we can look at the behavior. And then we can look at the tasks that we're putting off and be like, why is this? So let's delve deeper. And I want you, if you're a procrastinator like me and probably everyone here, I want you to ask yourself this. And I believe there's 5 ways that we can ask ourselves self-aware questions in finding out what the real reason is to understand and get a clear picture of what's happening. Number 1 is the emotional state. Am I feeling anxious? Am I feeling overwhelmed? Or am I afraid of failure? Am I feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or afraid of failure? If you answer yes to one of those, that is telling you that this is an emotional issue. Maybe it's as simple as a physical state, not just an emotional state, but a physical state. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're hungry. Maybe you're uncomfortable. So many things can be solved by going out and getting a great meal. I'm talking a good, clean, who cares about seed oils? I'm going to piss some people off right now. And the seed oils isn't your problem. The 4,000 calories you're eating every day and not exercising is your problem. So let's get that straight. That was the problem I had in my life. I'm at 2,200 calories and I work out. If I don't work out and I count my calories and I have my Fitness Pal and it counts it every single day and I put every single food that I eat, because I eat kind of the same things over and over, so it's just like click, click, click. It takes me like 30 seconds. I put the food in there and I can see right where I'm at. If I go out to eat, it's like, oh crap, I can't eat an extra meal that I usually eat at the house because this went to this, this, or this. Oh, I had 2 beers. Okay, well, there went 260 calories. It's that simple. Am I tired, hungry, or uncomfortable? Maybe that's just a physical state. You could fix that. That's easy. Number 3, environment. Is my workspace conducive to focus? Am I surrounded by distractions? Do you have any offices I go into? This may be you. My office is messy right now, so I'm not judging in the least bit, and I need to clean my office up. And I am going to procrastinate because I have a meeting in my office on Thursday, an important meeting, so I want to make sure it's super clean. So, of course, I'll have it clean by Thursday. But is your workspace conducive to focus? How dirty is your desk? Have you cleaned your monitors in a while? Is everything clean and tidy? Your office should be really clean. And it should be Yeah, you may have, like me, I have a ton of books. It's not really dirty per se. It's just kind of, there's some books everywhere, some literature that I'm working on creating, and water bottles, a few things like that. But I need to, after I get off this podcast, I'm going to go and clean it because I'm procrastinating on it. But I need to make sure my environment is productive and that it allows me to be able to focus. Number 4, task perception. Do I find this task boring, challenging, or unclear? Now, this is a big one for me. This was the one that hit me the worst whenever I was trying to figure this out of why I procrastinate. So for this one, the task perception, usually I make the task a giant. I make the task way bigger than it is because let me tell you something. When I actually stop procrastinating and I get busy and I actually do it, it takes like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours at max. Next thing you know, I was like, wow, that was pretty easy. A lot of times we just like, whew, I got it done. We don't take the time to be self-aware and be like, you know what? I procrastinated and thought it was going to be 10 times worse. And it's always that way, isn't it? It's always easier than you think. Do I find this task boring, challenging, or unclear? So gain clarity on the task. That's really important. Do research on it, whatever you need to do. The challenging a lot of times for me was just bullshit. It was just me making something bigger than what it was. Because I think it gave me an excuse to procrastinate if it was really big. Then I could just put it off. Or boring, it's like doing some Excel sheet. I hate messing with Excel. But for some reason I get stuck having to work with one every single day. It's just a rant, sorry. So we have our emotional state, physical state, environment, task perception. And then number 5 is personal values. Does this task align with my core values and long-term goals? Maybe you shouldn't do it at all. A lot of times you can delegate a lot of this and then have somebody else get it done for you a lot quicker than you procrastinating. You're like, well, it needs to be done right. Well, 80% done, and then you look at it and go over it is way easier than having it just sit around for a month or two. But this is core values. Maybe you're doing something and you're leading a company in a direction that you know is not right. So you're procrastinating because it's going against your values. That happens a lot. And I talk to leaders like that. I'm like, why did you decide to go down this road? Well, we're trying to, do, ROI for this, and this customer wanted this. I'm like, so you're changing things? Like your core values and long-term goals, you're changing those? For what reason? So by regularly checking in with ourselves with these 5 states, we can paint a clear picture of our unique procrastination trigger. And I want you to understand that. It's a procrastination trigger. It's unique. So let's look at, we saw the triggers. Let's look at the signal. So once we've cultivated self-awareness, we can start interpreting our procrastination as a signal. And it may be telling us these things. And I want to give you 5 signals. Number 1, need for rest. Are we overworked? Do we need a break? Take a break. A lot of times a 1-hour break or 2-hour breaks to go to the gym, you can actually do that. You can tell everyone, hey, I'll be back in an hour and a half. I'm going to the gym. Or, hey, I'll be gone for an hour and a half. No interruptions, please. When I come back, I'll be more than happy to handle that. You can actually do that. You don't have to be narcissistic enough to think that the place is going to burn down. If you can't go to the gym for an hour and a half, you've got a lot of system problems. You've got some problems and you've made the whole business about yourself. Small business owners, you have this problem. You think it's your business and it's all about you, so everything has to run through you. That's your biggest problem, is you. So need for rest. Are you overworked? Do you need a break? Take a break. Take a break for a couple days, then hit the task. Misaligned priorities. Is this task truly in line with your goals and values? Lack of clarity. Do we need more information? Do we need guidance to proceed? Do we need to call somebody else, bring somebody else in, have a team? I always like to form teams to accomplish tasks. So important to do it. Even if they have a small thing, get everybody involved. It teaches them, and then they get to work with you and at the team, and everybody gets to have a project. You can break it up instead of you doing it all. Break it up into 3 or 4 tasks and give it to others. Fear of failure. Are we using procrastination as a shield against potential disappointment? We do this in our relationships, don't we? We put that shield up because we don't want to be disappointed. So we never truly fully give. We never are vulnerable. We never really show love or show who we truly are. So a person only gets a percentage of us. So sad, isn't it? That's just fear of failure. Next is intuition about timing. Is our subconscious telling us that now isn't the right time? Get deep into your intuition. As a self-aware leader, this is what you do. Intuition is, Self-awareness is your superpower. Intuition is like your sidekick buddy, the best sidekick. It's like your Robin, Batman and Robin. It's your Robin. Intuition is there. That's that ancient wisdom that's been around, your higher self. That's what I believe it is. So listen to these signals and then make an informed decision about what to push forward and what steps to take back. And when I want to say this carefully. Sometimes procrastination can be beneficial. This is after you've gone through these steps and find out where you're at. Now, chronic procrastination is detrimental. And there are times that delaying can be advantageous. And I want to get into these. Maybe if this is a creative project, you need to have incubation for creativity. You need to allow everyone's subconscious to work on a problem. Like have group thinking. Say, today we're just going to discuss the problem on the whiteboard. We're not going to solve the problem. We're just going to talk about the problem. And then you're going to give it a day or two, and then you're going to come back to the whiteboard, leave everything up there, and then you're going to be like, we've been thinking about this. People's subconscious together, dude, I'm telling you, group thinking, teamwork like this, it's so beautiful. It works amazing. It draws everybody together. It's going to create a higher ROI. You're only going to get more clients, only going to have better work. When you have teams that are working together and their subconscious gets to work on a problem for a period of time, and then they get to come together, it's always innovation. You're going to have innovative solutions. They're going to bring something, you're going to be really impressed by it. Guaranteed. Try it. Just try it and then DM me and tell me it worked, because I know you will. Next is gathering more information. Waiting can provide time to collect valuable data. Now, I've seen this be detrimental in the sense of everybody does this. No one gets all the data. That you're not going to get 100%. You still have to make a decision. I like to make micro decisions. I like to look at a decision as evolving and growing. And I've talked about this before. But it's like we do this with software and everything else, don't we? We have 1.0 and then 2.0 and then 3.0. So I'm going to work towards the big decision. Nothing is final. So that allows me to be able to pivot, evolve, and adapt, right? That's what we're great as humans. That's why we're top of the food chain, right? Because we can adapt and evolve. That's what we're good at. So that's how my decisions, I'm going to always be moving forward, and I'm going to move forward with data. I'm going to move forward understanding. I'm going to get consensus, work with my team, and we're just going to slowly evolve. That's why we say, why does the system have to be done one and done? Why can't the system be constantly evolved and then we just adapt to what the customers are saying? We're continuously working on it. Whatever it may be, sales, marketing, finance, whatever it may be, the way that you build customers, you can get real innovative with that, can't you? And then emotional regulation. Taking time to process emotions can lead to more rational responses. We've all known someone, including ourselves, let's admit it, where we've made an irrational emotional response. When if we'd have just went for a walk and thought about it. Usually it has to do something where we feel hurt, right? We feel like somebody's done something to us, which I don't want to get too spiritual. I encourage you guys to listen to A Course in Miracles or understand that. It's really beautiful. I love it. I read it all the time. It's called A Course in Miracles. It's great. ACIM. But nothing can be done. The Course talks about nothing can be done to you. And it's really beautiful. No one can hurt you unless you allow it, right? Of course. And then next is energy management. Procrastinating on less critical tasks can help preserve energy. And then avoiding premature action. Delaying can prevent hasty decisions we might later regret. If we're making something because we're emotional, and emotional just doesn't have to be, ecstatic or it could be, I'm angry and I'm making this emotion to piss this person off. It's like, fuck this, fuck that. We're going to do this. Well, this is totally wrong. You can't have an emotions in your system. You need to get as balanced as you can. Yin and yang, masculine, feminine, it's all the same. You want to make sure that you're at that perfect equilibrium. And I like to look at decisions where I don't have a feeling towards it either or. I'm like, yeah, this is good. I have gained clarity. I feel really good about this. And I just feel calm and relaxed about the decision I'm going to make. It's like a Buddhist. You don't have feelings either way. So how do we harness self-awareness to manage procrastination? We're going to close on this. One, we have to keep a procrastination journal. And you don't have to, but I encourage you. It's good, especially in the beginning. Document your procrastination patterns because you're going to find out that they're patterns. You do the same thing over and over again. And then you're going to see the insights you gain. It's like I have the same type of dreams over and over again. And I have a dream journal. So right when I get up in the morning, I hop on my notes on my Apple phone. And before I forget, I write my dreams out. And guess what? They're always the same type of dreams. Different characters sometimes, different places. It's always the same time. We have patterns. Our whole life, subconscious, conscious, all of it is patterns, right? We live in patterns. We eat the same type of ice cream over and over again. It provides comfort for us to have patterns. So what is my procrastination pattern? Number 2, practice mindfulness. Enhance your ability to notice your thoughts and emotions. And the quicker you can do that, if you can grab it in the moment and catch it, because you're not your thoughts and your emotions. You are not your thoughts and your emotions, right? You are above that. You are your true self is your higher self. It is not what your ego's thinking in that exact moment. So I can distance myself. Eckhart Tolle talks about this. I can distance myself and look at the emotion, love the emotion, bring awareness to it, and then what can I say? Okay, why am I feeling this way? What's the trigger here? And then go through it and understand it. And it's going to instantly, once you bring clarity to it and bring it in the light, it's going to help you. It's practicing mindfulness. Number 3, set reflection time. Schedule regular check-ins with yourself to review your tasks and goals. And if you're procrastinating on these, go through these self-aware questions. Very simple. Number 4, experiment with action. Try both pushing through and delaying tasks. Observe the outcomes. Push your team a little bit, like 10% extra, and then I do this with calories, right? I can go in a 250 calorie deficit for a week and then see what happens. Each day I do 250 calorie deficit. It's not that much, just a few things, I like to tweak. Like I said, micro tweaks are compound interest. You invest $10 a day for your whole life. How much money do you have? It's insane. Look at that. It's the penny thing. You just double the penny every day. What happens? I love micro changes, compound interest. Compound interest is like this thing that defies all laws of gravity and everything else. Compound interest is my favorite thing. So if I'm doing consistently micro changes every single day, if I go to the gym 20 minutes a day, if I do 20 minutes of yoga at home every single day for a year, I'm a totally changed person. Isn't that cool? I love compound interest. It's amazing. So tweak. Say, okay, I'm going to push 10% harder on my team. Let's see what happens. Oh, cracks are starting to, I see cracks. I see people's attitudes change. Let me address those because I created some stress. Now, as a self-aware leader, I get to do coaching. When they're stretching, I get to do coaching. Then I got to bring self-awareness questions to them. And then they get to get more awareness, right? It's so beautiful. And then I'm going to delay tasks, be 10% less. So this, be like, this week I'm going to be a lot less with everyone and see how everybody performs. Maybe I won't be as hands-on. Maybe I won't be as coaching. I'll just kind of be a little bit more distant. Still loving and caring and happy. But I'm going to do 10% less and see, oh, wow, I did 10% less and everybody was more productive. Maybe I'm micromanaging too much. See how this self-awareness is so beautiful, isn't it? Seek feedback. Ask trusted colleagues or friends for their perspectives. Now, this is a catchy one. Alex Hormozzi talks about this. Don't ask people, and his wife talks about this too, because I want to give them both credit because they both have amazing stuff that they talk about. Don't ask people that's never been there, done it. Don't ask somebody, if you're running a multi-million-dollar business, don't ask a family relative that has worked 40 years at the post office. Love the post office. My favorite thing to get mail every day. My grandfather worked at the post office his whole life. World War II, was on a ship as a postman, worked all the way through to retired, for 40-something years at the same window in Jacksonville Post Office in Florida. So, love the post office. But what I'm saying is, the guy that worked at the window selling stamps doesn't understand your multi-million-dollar business. Just because you guys are great friends, or he's, your great uncle that you love and think dearly, and you can share anything with him, he may be able to help you with life in general, but he's not going to be able to help you with, he may give you bad advice and not even realize it. So ask trusted colleagues, those that you respect. Find a mentor. Find somebody you can talk to that's older. Even if you have to pay for it. There's so many websites now where you can pay somebody $100 to $300 and talk to them for 10 or 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and ask them a question. There's tons of those mentor websites, which are awesome. It's worth it. Pay $250, talk to somebody super high up that's way higher than you, that started, 10 or 15 successful businesses. Pay them $250 and ask them a question and listen for 30 minutes and take notes, record it. It's awesome. Conclusion. Here we go. Procrastination isn't always the enemy, guys. As self-aware leaders, we can learn to interpret our procrastination, and it's a valuable signal. So let's approach it. Here's what I want you to do. Your procrastination, approach it with curiosity, not judgment. And by tuning into our inner signals and respecting what they tell us, we can transform procrastination from a foe into an unexpected ally. And this will help you guaranteed towards productivity and well-being. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.